full of natural plants.
Hello and welcome everyone. You know what, I wanted to start and you just stopped. What you just
Sorry.
Hello everyone and
We're having
welcome.
too interesting of a conversation.
We're having a conversation about hair care. Ooh.
And wood pipes.
And wood pipes, yes. It's just,
We're back on the wood pipes again.
I mean,
Pipes?
yeah, there are wood pipes in Washington D.C.
Oh, I thought you said like.
Yeah, it was a joke. Is the water hard in where Zeb lives? No, it's wood. Hey, Gossip Girl. Yes, hair pipes, indeed. How are you doing? Are we still waiting for Lena?
Also, wood pipes do exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. They still use them to transport water in Washington, D.C.
You can indeed make pipes out of wood.
Then again, ironically, I think they can probably be upgraded relatively easy nowadays because so there's a new way to refurbish rusted pipes, basically, as in, you know, you go through with like a drill to remove rust, and then you have basically.
Oh, the tube thing?
Yeah, you have basically an inflatable tube with resin, and you just inflate it through. That should also work with wood. Like, it would also just help the wood just stay there.
It would rot. The only concern there is when they last changed the wood pipes, or when I last heard about the wood pipes being changed, as soon as they shut off the water, essentially the pipes disintegrated.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Core rules.
The pipe would probably fall apart if you used that stuff. Like, it wasn't like as soon as you shut off the water, but like you shut off the water and you try and touch stuff, and then it just falls apart because it was maintaining its structure and its structural integrity.
Yeah,
a bit like a Coke can or a fizzy drink can. You know
what?
Like,
I was
if you remove all the water, if you remove all the liquid, it's not structurally integral.
Yeah, I was almost saying similar to the pillars in Venice, because when they get actually contact with air, they just crumble. They basically.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
exactly that. And the wood boards that the houseboats are on in the canals in Europe.
Yeah.
Because they're so they've been so soaked in water. The second that they're not soaked in water, it's just they fall apart.
Yeah.
Also, since we have a bit of time right now until Lena comes. Has any one of you read the new Death Diary for Victoria 3?
Oh, yeah.
I have.
No,
I think it sounds... they also, Gossip Girl, they can just write dumb shit onto the pages, so...
Yeah.
It looks really good.
They're buffing racism again.
You had to say that, right?
I didn't...
It's true.
So, remind me where that part was?
The point... the whole extra things you can give to your companies costs authority. So, naturally, racism gets buffed.
Yeah, because it's like...
Especially since if you want a strong company that can also own stuff overseas, you don't need to tolerate the people overseas. Because... so, in essence, you can be more racist without downside.
I really liked the whole thing about demanding monopoly right. I think it was either monopoly rights or whatever it was that you could demand that your company gets special rights in another country as part of the treaties thing, and as additionally through that the war goals. That was really interesting. It kind of it makes less territorial imperialism and more economic imperialism.
Yeah.
Which I think is what the game is supposed to be more like.
Yeah, fair.
Which also kind of makes me more interested. This is what I want, because I like playing Portugal and I want to do Trade Empire Portugal.
That also makes it a bit more realistic as well, because a lot of the territory that was quote unquote British or empires and stuff
We just bamboozled Gobsoft
It was all
Girl.
trade.
I stopped listening for a second and only heard something about increasing capacity for racism. Yeah,
That's
so
why. Yep.
basically there is a new expansion coming for Victoria 3, and they have some big features, like for example that you can give special rights/charters to the companies in your country. And the thing about those charters is that they cost you authority. And so everything that increases your authority, which would be, for example, turning down laws that, increase cultural acceptance, well, those get indirectly buffed because now, due to how the companies can work, you can circumvent a few of the problems. I mean, overall, you still probably want to have multiculturalism because...
Sure. But before that, you will have a nice monarchistic ethno-state to spend all the authority and then liberalize.
Of course, it's Vicky. Yeah, Vicky. The thing is, we're a bunch of white people and we like Victoria 3, and nearly every update is like, we just improved the awfulness of the evil simulator. The awful options in the evil simulator.
I wonder.
Just recreating history. This is what happened. Lots of racism.
Because this is a,
You sound too excited for a British person, Ruben. Do you know that?
No.
Because it's a new way to spend the resource. I wonder if they're going to make any balance changes regarding how you get it.
Easier to get, easier to lose, sort of.
Didn't say anything about that, but I think in the long run,
You have to wait for the change log.
in the long run, they would need to rework authority anyway because it doesn't work well.
It's not a good thing. Yeah, it's like it's a very much a band-aid and just.
So they could maybe do
contact
authority
racism.
the way that Stellaris did reworked trade. Just make it a
I
currency
don't know
that
what you
can
mean
make
with that, Govsoft Girl. Then again, Agonia's recent main strategy is the Soviet breeding farms anyway. You should have seen her play Russia. The population growth was insane. You outbred China.
Yeah.
Hey, when the bakery's working, it's working.
Yeah, fair point. It's just... that was definitely a plan and it worked out.
If you start with a very high population country in Victoria, there's a good case to be made to not give women any rights. Gameplay wise. Okay?
Yeah.
It is so
Even
great
more
how
so, if you have a, even more so if you have a religious group or some industry that gives additional birth rate.
Yeah.
But it also means that the monarchic power block is even stronger because you get more authority per subject.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's what I was trying to think of earlier. Is how do you get more authority outside of the laws, which is the monarchy power block?
And research, I guess.
They did say that they were changing that they were going to make some adjustments to, I think, some of the power block stuff.
Yeah, they want to buff some of them. They haven't really neither directly nor indirectly talked about nerfs, but about buffs that some of them give you more slots for company charters and stuff.
Yeah, it's I do find it very hilarious that the moment we start talking about Victoria 3 and like, oh, what are good strategies in Victoria 3? Talks about the worst possible thing imaginable to a society.
So that's what Paradox
What would be
did.
interesting? You know, it'd be interesting if the leader characters of a company could have a trait that reduces the cost of authority for a charter.
Oh yeah, that is a thing, for what I know.
Or some other interaction like that. Because we have traits that
Wouldn't
affect
it
you depending on if you're a ruler, a general, or...
Wouldn't it necessarily lead to, assuming you can interact with them, like with agitators and stuff, that you enact secret police and then kill all the executives you don't like?
that's what it implied.
Also,
talking about
an
that.
interesting thing, because we talked about the possible ethno-state to multiculturalism play. Friedrich Kurb would help because he is very racist, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
If you,
I do love how you already are like, you know what? I just need to enact secret police, and then I can do a culling of all the executives that I don't like, that do the capitalism wrong, in my opinion. It's like, oh yeah, totally normal things to say as human beings.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if the character, well, the person that they added, like the historical person that they add, is Gerald Ford. Not Gerald Ford, Henry Ford.
Oh,
Henry Ford,
what?
because the Ford Motor Company is in there.
The other one.
Yeah, Gerald Ford is. I don't remember his record very much. He's kind of forget that.
He's pretty
Henry
racist.
Ford.
Yeah, Henry Ford was the...
Henry Ford, yeah.
Yeah.
Henry Ford, pretty racist guy.
So you could technically use those two at the head of a company to do the worst things human can do, to get a lot of authority for some reason, to spend it on company charters, and then kill them. And then go back to, like, at least, how's it called, cultural exclusion or something? Or if you're lucky, multiculturalism?
It'd be quite difficult, though. Like, to get that change very quickly.
If you have secret police, it's fine.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Secret police helps with so many things, you wouldn't believe it.
Fair point.
It's like, historically, secret police, very shit. In Victoria, it's the greatest tool ever.
Yeah, like, I don't know which run it was, but I played the USA for once, and I just solved the whole slavery debate by just suppressing the South with my secret police. And I couldn't do anything. It was insanely effective.
You mean like the movement and stuff?
Yeah, the movement and everything. So the Southern planters, they had shit to say. They were just like
because you can't suppress them directly anymore, if you remember.
Yeah. But yeah, they also didn't radicalize or anything. So like yeah. So the answer to how could you prevent the Civil War, Mr. Lincoln? It was just like build a secret police state. Like god damn it, it's not that hard. Bad state advice with Victoria 3.
To be honest, that would not have been Lincoln's job. That would have had to have been what's his face? Taft? Not Taft.
The previous one, right?
The guy before him.
But he was shit. Yeah. So
he was shit because he already saw what Lincoln was about to get, and he realized that
he just gave up.
That anything that he did would make things worse, and so arguably, I mean, he did the best thing that he could, which is nothing.
I mean, he also had this thing at, oh yeah, you know what, vote for me and I will end the slavery debate. And then he was like, so the end of the slavery debate is that slavery is good. And everyone was like, are you for real, mate? And he's like, wow, why is no one just following me? I just declared it was good. And people are still angry. How did that happen?
Now that I think about it, depending on your country, enacting ethno-state would make it easier if your research is far enough to actually enact multiculturalism, because you would piss off all the minorities. So a movement would spawn for multiculturalism, pretty likely, that you then can bolster with your whole authority.
Getting multiculturalism through the power of the ethno-state big brain strategy.
What you're describing, Agonia, is turning liberals into reactionaries.
Mm-hmm. Basically. It's reverse sway, just with politics.
I guess. Anyway, you know what? Should we talk about something positive for once?
It's Victoria, it's positive.
Yeah.
Also...
Yeah, line go up.
Yes. We can also poke Lena, maybe.
We probably should.
By the way,
yeah.
more lines. We have more lines.
Yeah,
now
company prosperity and stuff.
Yes.
Company man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but our corporate overlords need line to go up. it makes the brain. It makes the brain produce funny chemicals.
Maybe they changed something of the technocracy or something, that actually the executives then are the persons in power on top of the interest groups.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
I mean, they're already semi-agitators, is how I understood it.
So you have like the tech billionaires or
I guess.
barons
You probably
of the
have
day.
to do like a modifier, because countries won't have enough corporations to fill up political ideologies.
But some of them,
It'll
at
probably be
least.
something like a 200% chance for a industry leader to become the next for a company owner to become the next
At least for the industrialists and maybe the petit bourgeoisie.
Oh God, you could get Trump's dad.
God. No.
No, that's oh god. By the way, Goths of Girl, I already wrote you on Discord, but I wrote again if you're interested.
Yes. You write stuff.
I write stuff sometimes. I know.
When we do not beat up the widowed dog.
The insert dog.
No, it's not. Well, it's an insult technically, but it's also a widowed dog.
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean, we put it in.
Yes.
Yeah, we put it involuntarily into celibacy. So, that applies.
Basically, we were playing Monster Hunter Frontier bit, and there are like a pair of dogs or wolves, like Nono and
Nono Orugaron.
Yeah.
So there's Nono Orugaron and
what's the other one called?
Camu Orugaron. So basically,
Yes.
it's a black and a white wolf. It's like the point is that they're like always together. They're like always a pair.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if story wise, one of them gets killed because they're monogamous completely. One of them develops into a Midogaron, which is basically just burning out and angry.
Yeah, extreme bursts of speed, goes into the volcano for some reason and will die there slowly because grief and such. That's at least the story. And we need to kill it because I want hip armor.
Yes. With a fluffy tail.
It's important.
So you basically want to become a furry.
No.
No.
I just want to wear the fur of this specific dog.
Her head is made of stone. Actually, a small volcano crater.
Not a fursuit.
No.
No. Just
Okay.
parts are
volcano.
fur. Parts are fur, parts are scales, parts are just stone.
A Gonyo
And
is
I-
a furry confirmed.
And I dread getting the stone parts because... Ugh.
Well, for you it will be easy.
It's I have no clue how much worse level Zenith 4 Gravius is gonna be. That thing is that's actually just a fucking monster. So, actually, if Lena doesn't show up today, what then?
Helldivers?
I guess Helldivers.
Yeah, sure.
Didn't you watch some videos
Oh
about
yeah, I saw a bit about the new war bonds. The new one is shit.
Ah.
Yeah, it's just... Okay, let me put it like this. The gun is shit, and for some reason it's just light armor penetration, even though it's based on a M1 Garand, which is like... Ah, yes.
But it's in the future.
Yeah, but like... Okay, here's the thing. It's based on the M1 Garand. It's basically a technically stronger version of an existing DMR in the game, just with, lower magazine. So you'd think, okay, lower magazine size equals probably, it should excel in other areas. But the answer is no, because the other gun has on paper, quote unquote, less damage, but in reality does the same damage. You can have better recoil thanks to detachments now because the new gun only has scopes, no grips or something, or magazines or anything. So the other DMR just wins. And yeah, the new one is just kind of shit, sadly. And the armor piece is kind of shit because it's like, 50% less chance of limb damage, which is like, if you
That's
get
pretty standard.
Not that. The thing is, if that's your only armor damage, like only armor perk, the moment you take limb damage, you already got so much damage you would stim anyway. So, oh wow, you got over the threshold where you stim.
The armors are kind of worthless already, and
It depends. If you are good,
it's mostly what's mostly like for democracy is situationally useful.
Mm-hmm.
Extra padding is good. Explosive is good against bots.
Sometimes fire and arc damage can be useful.
Sometimes, yeah.
I do like actually the current robotic stuff that I still use because you can throw further, and you have 30% less limb damage.
Oh.
So like that's the thing. I get a similar effect of the new armor on an older armor set, but with an added good bonus of I can throw my grenades further.
You should
maybe if you could like stack armor buffs or something like that.
If they would
or attach them or something like that, maybe
put some perks
and
on the
maybe
helmets.
attach more on heavy armor than less.
Yeah, put some perks on the helmets would be a thing actually. Yeah. But yeah, most armor sets are meh. It's just the new stratagem is it's worthless. The flag does nothing.
Why?
It literally does nothing. It's just a flag. It's basically it's a less good stun lance.
That's sad. They could have given it some slight AoE buff, like moving faster with a marching animation or something.
Yeah, that's an emote, but no, it's sadly not good. Sadly, it is not good.
You can do it for flex and stuff, or roleplay, I guess.
It's really just roleplay, but also you take up a whole stratagem slot.
You could probably make it so that, like, if you're going to continue in the same direction that Arrowhead has been going with, like, in regards to, like, realism-ish, which is not perfect realism, you could theoretically make it be kind of like the booster that in a similar vein to that booster that the Inquisition pack had, which was like you can keep on sprinting but at the cost of health. You could make it so that, say, when the flag is out and the area around it, so say like 50 meters, fellow Helldivers are less debilitated by injured limbs or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Something.
Like an AoE buff, sort of.
Yeah, that's what I assumed the thing would have.
I really thought it would have, but no, it literally is just a flag, and you can poke a bit with it, and that's it. It does really nothing. The saber is
heads in the physics of it all, and I think they're missing out on the biological sciences.
I guess.
I mean, in the end, they just added a lot of stuff with not much gameplay value.
Yeah, but like, by the way, the saber is just a reskin of the hatchet. Okay, but there's one.
I saw someone claim that the gun is the highest DPS gun in the game now.
No.
No?
It's outclassed by the fucking lever action rifle. You know why?
Why?
The lever action rifle has medium armor penetration. And a higher base stat. And from what I know, you can also, I think, slap more attachments on it. And also, okay, here's the thing. With the new gun, you need a few hits to kill, stuff like overseers and such. The lever action is like, oh, you get a headshot, the overseer is dead.
pretty good.
You hit the antenna of walkers for their shield. The antenna is done. The lever action rifle is generally good if you can aim.
That's a big if.
Yeah, that's basically like high skill floor weapon.
So yeah, that's the thing. But I want to try it now. So
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, but then you got to get it, and then you got to farm.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the biggest problem they currently just have is at least in the current in the Wild West stuff is like it's pretty good stuff. The lever action rifle stands out, and the TNT is technically a really good damage. It just has the longest fuse, so it kind of sucks.
And it
But
probably
that's the
doesn't
interesting
stick,
thing.
right?
What?
It
If
probably
you're used to using throwables and like timed stuff in shooters, then it's probably not a big deal.
No, it
main-
has like
the main
a
problem-
really long fuse, like I
Yeah.
think 12 seconds or so.
the main
I saw
so-
8 seconds.
the main problem you have with fuses in Helldivers is there is never a good reason that a longer fuse time is good.
Yeah.
That's like the main
Well,
problem.
Yeah.
There is okay. So hold on. There is one good reason. The backpack.
Okay, yeah, fair point. That
The
thing
Hellbomb
shouldn't.
backpack. The idea is you activate it, you drop, and you run.
Fair point.
Right.
Fair point. That's definitely an
But
exception.
that is that.
That's
That
a-
is,
that's a
I agree with you. That
specific
is
one.
more an exception.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
more an exception.
you,
than a
you could
rule.
also say, yes, of course a fuse time is important, otherwise the thing would blow up in your hand. I get it. But, like, normal grenade times, or like, it starts counting when you throw it. The thermite sticks already have the downside of taking a long while until they blow up.
Yeah. But here's an interesting thing, though. From the newest war bonds, that spinny grenade, that is technically one of the best grenades in terms of damage
You mean the
output.
super grenade?
No, the one that spins, the fireworks one, from the newest.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that actually is in one of the best in terms of damage, with a big fucking asterisk. So basically, that thing has an AoE effect around it. It's not a big one, but it is there. So you could drop it in choke points, or if enemies pile up, and it kills chargers fast. Like fast. Some people got clips where one grenade got like 2 chargers and killed it in like 3 seconds. This thing has fire damage. Not good against automatons, but it's
I
small.
see what it's doing. It's a whole bunch of projectiles of fire damage, which builds up
Yes.
burning
So like
a lot
that's
faster,
good.
which is supposed to be the slight nerf that fire damage got to large entities.
Yeah.
But like here's a problem though. The thing spins and uncontrollably and just spins away, so you can't control where the fucking thing is.
maybe
So-
it's a confined space.
So
Well, if
it's just
everything around you is bugged, then it's not a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know what you mean, but it's just just the biggest problem. It's inconsistent as fuck. If it was like on the place where you threw it, no problem. But
Apparently it's so volatile that it can just decide to spin in your direction and kill you.
yeah,
Oh.
Which is funny, but it also
No, it-
makes it pretty useless.
It's funny because it's just the kind of thing that you might see in a Helldivers kit.
yeah. The problem is just also like, yeah, it's inconsistent. So like, why except for the joke, Okay,
It's only a game, though. It's meant to be a joke. The whole
Eh.
game
And
is
you
just a
still
joke,
want
though.
to-
If this is going to be the role playing and memeing and joking content,
I
then
get
sure.
you, but like,
I'm all for that, especially because they're keeping it all in one pack.
you know what? That's fair to a degree. I just wish the stuff in that pack would have had a little bit more value, like a bit more consistent grenade, a bit higher damage rifle, especially since it's based on the semi-auto rifle from World War II, that has a really big cartridge actually.
And 2006 is
I guess
it's literally it's a less effective 7.62 realistically.
yeah, but that
So-
wasn't it. The thing was that this cartridge was the thing the Americans wanted afterwards to be everything in the. There was this whole thing of which cartridge should NATO adapt, a full power cartridge or intermediate, and the answer was the Americans were like full power, and now the gun isn't even behaving like it has full power. So yeah.
Again, set in
Anyway,
the future.
it still sucks. They could have done everything a little bit better, but oh well.
I'm like more of the opinion like you can make meme stuff, however we want to call it, and still make it good gameplay wise. Like for example, the flag. The flag
Decent,
is fun.
yeah.
Nobody can argue with a flag holder. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's great.
Yeah.
Give it some, as we all said, some AE buffs. You have both. Like it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive at all.
But I think they'd like a capture the flag game with that.
I mean, we already have raised the flag, so why not? We could.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have
Yeah.
more game modes.
They don't want to have how's it called?
They won't have like PvP ever because they don't want that
no.
business.
Yeah.
But they will. But I could see them definitely being like, "Oh, you need to go and grab this flag and carry it across the map."
Yeah, and then like if you die, enemies can pick it up and bring it back. That should be relatively easy to program.
It will still be
maybe,
funny if there's
it'd
like
be
a
hard
small
to
bug with a
logic-
flag. Like,
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard for them to justify that the bugs would pick up and carry the flag back to somewhere. And there's probably ways that they could, but it's
A rebel faction, maybe?
stretching things. They don't want to do rebel faction.
They're not. Okay.
yeah.
But what they could do is basically, oh, this is actually from a flag stash. You just need to carry it to the other side. But when you drop it and say a bug gets it or a bot gets it, it gets destroyed.
Yeah, something like that.
Because technically flags are not supposed to touch the floor.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Then it
That's
could
coming from
literally be
America.
like,
Actually-
oh, don't drop it or else.
By the way, did anyone else also write Lena? I wrote her and no answer yet. It's like, okay.
I mean,
She's
So
fully
the-
Ruben.
She is online, so
Steam shows that she's snoozing, which means that she hasn't interacted with her PC in a bit.
Or Discord isn't open.
For me, it's just shows as online, but yeah, sure. Maybe something came up. Who knows?
who knows?
Yeah.
The big
It's
problem
possible.
is just, now we're sitting here and we're like, do we want to switch over to Helldivers 2 or is she coming any minute now?
And oh yeah, doesn't she, yeah, she doesn't play Helldivers, does she?
He doesn't.
We
and
would,
we
be
also
we would be a full group with all of us anyway.
Well, that as well. Yeah. So
I mean, if we want to get something done, I guess we should soonish switch. We waited over half an hour.
Lena is also in the group. We have like 4 players, but she's not here yet. Also, yeah, did you hear that I wrote you on Discord, Gossip Girl? Because I wrote again, and usually ask the usual stuff. Okay.
would Discord be like fucking up or something? Maybe.
I mean, Discord says she's online. I
But
know.
for me, it doesn't say that she's online. For
does for me.
Lena, at least. But does it? I think that's weird.
Well, life is unpredictable. Let's go with the
Yep.
flow.
Yeah.
One of the 3 Chinese things.
So you mean we should just switch to Helldivers?
Yeah, I don't want to go with other things from the Chinese.
We've already been according to stream. It's been live for about an hour, for
Yeah.
almost an hour. Now.
Yeah.
I
So
think
you know
I
what?
think it's reasonable to switch over.
Yeah. Let's let me just switch everything here.
Yeah. I mean, what were the other
We can
things?
always postpone to next week. If we have to.
Oh, there's an update for Helldivers. Health is pretty small.
So yeah, what was Die Horribly, Ghost of Girl? Yeah, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this. I will just upload this as waiting for player to appear.
Yeah.
I guess, and so yeah, everyone stay here. I will just reload the stream, so we're back in a second. Okay. Yeah, sadly nothing worked this time. Next time then, okay? Yeah, just reload the page. See you in a second.